Aboard the Space Colony Ark, Shadow the Seedrian was reminiscing about Maria and thinking about how he would soon have his vengeance on humanity. Soon, Maria. Soon. Those humans will pay for what they did to you. Shadow's train of thought was suddenly interrupted by a buzzing from his communicator. The green hedgehog quickly picked it up. Dr. Eggman, what's wrong?
Shadow, a silent alarm has just been triggered in the main loading bay. It seems we have some uninvited visitors. Scanners are also tracing an energy signature moving at high speed, matching that of the Chaos Emeralds.
At that moment, Eggman figured out what was going on.
Those fools. They think they can fool us with that fake emerald, do they? I'll take care of this, Shadow. You just protect the Eclipse cannon.
Understood. Shadow hung up the communicator and was about to head towards the core, when suddenly the muffled sound of a gunshot could be heard. The bullet went right through Shadow's leg, causing immense pain, forcing him onto his knees. The green hedgehog looked back to see his mystery assailant. It was Gun Commander Towers.
It's been a long time, Shadow.
Shadow gritted his teeth, still holding his leg.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
You don't recognize me? I'm hurt. Shadow glared at the opponent and looked into his eyes. One of them blue, the other one a golden yellow. He'd seen this man before, a long time ago.
You're Abraham, Maria's friend aboard the Ark. Don't you dare say her name, monster.
Shadow growled at the remark.
Me, monster? You're the one wearing the emblem of those who killed Maria.
Abraham looked at the gun logo on his jacket.
Gun are here to protect the world from people like you. If you didn't exist, Maria would still be alive today.
As the commander continued to monologue, Shadow slowly began to raise one of his arms, with chaos energy burning inside it.
Justice will be served, Shadow.
Abraham quickly pulled the trigger, but during the split second before the bullet could hit him, Shadow quickly moved out of the way. Abraham was startled, and he looked down at Shadow's leg. The bullet hole that had just been there seconds ago had healed somehow, as if vines had wrapped around it. There was no sign that there was any injury there to begin with. Seeing the commander's temporary sign of confusion, Shadow raised his hand. The green hedgehog quickly released the chaos energy he had been building up.
Chaos Thorn!
The chaos energy erupted out into 3 tendrils. One of the tendrils slashed at the commander's leg. The other one knocked the gun out of his hand, and the final tendril did the most damage. The tendril slashed across Abraham's face, going from his forehead down to his lower left cheek, barely missing his left eye. Shadow stepped towards the commander, who was still screaming in pain.
I want you to know, Commander, this is nothing personal, but I will avenge Maria, no matter what it takes.
Shadow raised his arm.
Chaos!
But just before Shadow could finish his attack, a bomb dropped at his feet with a heart-shaped insignia on it. The ultimate lifeform looked down at the device, expecting it to go off. As he was distracted, a figure dropped behind Shadow and knocked him aside with a single roundhouse kick. It was Rouge the Bat. Sorry, handsome, but I can't let you do that.
Agent Rouge, are you insane? That bomb could have killed me.
Relax, sweetie. It was a dud. She looked back across the arena to see Shadow getting back up.
So, Rouge, this was your plan all along? Or is this a direct order from the president?
Sorry, Shadow. Can't have you blowing up the world. Plus, I was promised 7 lovely emeralds for my work. Shadow glared at the Batgirl.
Get out of my way, Rouge.
The two locked eyes for what felt like an eternity. Quickly, Shadow teleported behind Rouge and tried doing a quick sweep attack. Rouge saw this coming and quickly leaped out of the way, kicking him back. Using the momentum of the kick, she flew into the air and threw several flashbangs at Shadow. With the ultimate life form temporarily blinded, Rouge tried to grab Shadow, restraining him.
Shadow, stand down. Don't make me hurt you, Rouge.
This is pointless. You're not even the real Shadow. Shadow's eyes widened, and in a blink of an eye, he teleported out of Rouge's grip. Rouge was expecting another attack, but Shadow just stood in front of her, glaring.
What are you talking about, Rouge?
I've been looking into this Ultimate Life Form project, and the pictures don't depict anything that looks like you. The creature was codenamed the Bio-Lizard, and if that's the Ultimate Life Form, then who is standing in front of me? Shadow stood silent.
I don't have time for this.
He began to walk away. Suddenly, an explosion was heard from outside the colony. The commander and Rouge were in confusion, but Shadow knew exactly what that was.
Guess he was just a normal hedgehog after all.
Unbeknownst to Shadow, the gun commander began to pick up his weapon.
Well then, Shadow, tell Sonic I said hello.
Abraham pulled the trigger, but just before the bullet could hit Shadow, he warped away, seeing no more need to fight. He had already won. Shadow warped to the lower sections of the space colony arc, waiting for when the Eclipse cannon would fire. When, to his surprise, he saw a blue hedgehog standing mere yards ahead of him.
You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought the capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard. You know, you saved me. Shadow glanced at Sonic's emerald.
But there's no way you'd be able to use chaos control with an emerald that's fake.
Sonic gave a smirk.
So there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure.
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. I see. Well, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
Unlike the first time Sonic and Shadow fought in this what if, the advantage was in Sonic's corner. For reference, unlike in the main game series where Shadow is almost as fast as Sonic and can casually flip over a bus with his bare hands, this Shadow's strength is more akin to, say, the Avatar from Sonic Forces. His powers really lie in regenerative and control plant life, which aboard a space colony with clearly no plants, that ability ain't gonna come in handy. Shadow was still no pushover and was going to use all of his chaos abilities to try and stop Sonic before he could get to the core, but ultimately this battle was only going to end one way. Within a mere minute, the battle was done. Although it was strenuous, Sonic still came out the victor. Shadow raised his head just in time to see Sonic run off to center the core. As Sonic ran far out of view, Shadow slowly got back onto his feet. Despite being beaten, he felt a strange sense of respect for Sonic. A normal hedgehog being able to stop the ultimate life form. At the same time, Eggman was being defeated by the combined assault of Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, who were trying to avenge their supposedly fallen friend. That's when they got a transmission from Sonic, confirming that he was alive and that he had stopped the Space Colony Arc's cannon from firing. Sadly, this touching moment between the four of them was the perfect chance for Eggman to slip away with the real Chaos Emerald. The Mad Doctor hurried to the core and quickly tried to reactivate the Space Colony Arc's laser cannon. That's when a videotape started playing. It was of the late Gerald Robotnik, explaining how he would take vengeance on humanity. Similar to the original timeline, the heroes and villains teamed up to try and stop the space colony arc from colliding with the Earth. Although in this timeline, Amy was helping them as well. Amy took out a couple artificial chaos to help Tails get to his destination. But high above, in the very room he was ejected from 50 years ago, Shadow was looking down at the Earth as the space colony got closer and closer to the planet. That's when a figure walked up behind him. Shadow spoke up. "Are you here to kill me, Commander? Take your best shot. It doesn't matter anymore." "It still matters to me. If you didn't exist, maybe she would have had a chance. A chance for what? To be happy." A chance to be happy. Those words raced through Shadow's mind. He felt a shearing amount of deja vu, as if he had heard that statement before, but couldn't quite place it. Then it all hit him, what Maria's true dying wish was. You're right, Commander. I am. Maria would want me to give them a chance to be happy, and I must keep my promise to her, and to you. Before the commander could question Shadow, he warped away to help the heroes stop the space colony arc. From this point on, the events of this story end nearly identical to how they ended up in Sonic Adventure 2. Shadow fights the Bio-Lizard to give Sonic and Knuckles a little more time, and eventually takes on his own super form to help Super Sonic defeat the final hazard. Although, this version of Super Shadow is a far cry from what you would expect. Instead of sporting a traditional creamy yellow and red stripes, this design, unknowing to Shadow, references his alien origin with dark purple and dark indigo stripes. Despite his appearance not matching it, he's nearly as powerful as the game's Super Shadow, and after a few hits from him and Super Sonic, the Bio-Lizard was destroyed. But they still had the space colony to deal with, as it was still drifting towards the planet. Both hedgehogs knew what they had to do. They had to stop the space colony, no matter what it took. After giving a knowing nod to one another, their hearts and minds united as one, as they raised their hands filled with chaos energy and pronunciated, "Chaos Control!" The space colony was launched back into orbit, but such a move had a deadly cost. Although Supersonic was launched back towards the colony, Shadow was launched down at the Earth. Since he had collected less rings during the battle than Sonic did, his super form didn't last long, and quickly depleted as he was pulled towards the Earth's atmosphere. His leafy fur began to burn up on re-entry. His wooden limbs began to snap apart like twigs before ripping off of him. And even one of his horns lit on fire. But despite everything, Shadow smiled. "Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is the promise I made to you." Shadow, still smiling, closed his eyes and pictured him and Maria walking together on a warm beach as his body burnt up on re-entry. Man, this episode just got dark. Sorry about that. Live and learn. Hang it. Very little had survived re-entry. The only things of Shadow that remained was his 4 inhibitor rings and a single golden seed, which launched itself deep into the Earth's crust. Out of the seed sprouted a single green flower, and the possibility of redemption for Shadow the Seedrian. So, what did you guys think of this episode? Was it a bit too dark for you? Do you think Shadow's really dead? And how would events like Sonic Heroes play out without Shadow the Hedgehog? Leave your comments down below. Also, I'd really like to thank you guys for your patience. You guys are really the best. Well, that's all from me. Have a nice day.